Am I live? I think so. All right, guys, it is Diana. It is Wednesday, and I'm freaked out because I can see myself and I'm not used to doing that. So what I'm going to talk about today is how important protein is in your diet. Super, super, super important. Especially it's for everybody, right? Men, women, kids as well. And there are reasons, there are science based reasons why that is important, right? So I'm going to go through those, but what I want you to do is first of all, I want you to let me know that you're here. So please make a comment so that I can see that you're here. And then I also want to hear your questions or see your questions so that I can answer anything that you have about why you need to eat protein, how much protein do you need to eat, all of that kind of stuff. So we're going to get started. I do have some information to share on that topic as well. So I'm going to get started, and then as you guys all join, I will answer those questions for you. So let's get started. This will be probably about 20 minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer, could be a little bit shorter, just depending on how many people pop in and have any questions for me. So let me know that you're here by making a comment, by saying hi, or just asking a question. So I'm going to get started. So there are about 10 or more. I'm going to just give you 10 science-based reasons why it's important to eat protein. And if you're eating a little, you probably should be eating a little bit more. So protein is important. There's always this controversial how many fats, how many fat grams, how many carb grams should I be eating? Should I be eating carbs? Should I be eating fats? All that kind of stuff. But we all know that everyone does agree that protein is super important, especially me. I think it's really, really important for us in our life. And high protein diets or just eating protein on a regular basis will have major benefits for a couple for weight loss for sure, and just your overall metabolic health, like your hormones and all of that. So the first science-backed reason for you to eat protein is it will reduce your appetite and hunger levels. So the fats, carbs, and proteins affect your body in different ways. Protein is the most filling. It helps you feel more full with less food. So if you have a chicken breast versus a piece of fruit, more carbs, you're going to feel full longer with eating that protein. And the reason why is it reduces the level of the hunger hormone that you have called ghrelin. Ghrelin. It sounds really funny. It's spelled Grelin, and that is a hormone, a hunger hormone. And protein reduces that level so you don't feel hungry as much. It also boosts the levels of peptide YY. It sounds really funny, but there's a peptide called YY, so Y, the letter Y twice. And that's a hormone that makes you feel full. So it really does affect those hunger hormones. So that's another reason why it makes you or helps you feel full longer. And there's actually a study, and I'm going to quote here, that increasing your protein intake from 15% to 30% of calories helped overweight women eat about 450 fewer calories each day without intentionally restricting anything. So another reason why getting your protein in is important. And we'll get to what that level might be for you, and it's really based on your weight. So if you need to lose weight or you need to lose that belly fat, consider increasing your carb intake, maybe a little bit less carbs. And I didn't say no carbs, and I didn't say no fats, but a little bit more protein. So maybe making your carbs, like your potatoes or those types of carb sources, a little bit smaller, but a few extra bites of protein. So fish and meat and those kinds of things. So summary, I'm going to tell you that protein in your diet reduces hunger, helps you eat fewer calories, and the reasons for that is it reduces your level of the hunger hormone ghrelin, which you have, and everybody has that, and it also boosts the levels of a peptide called peptide YY, which is a hormone that makes you feel full. It actually boosts that. So super important, and it's caused by improved function of your weight regulating hormones. So really important. So I just mentioned those hormones. So it's hormone ghrelin, and it's also peptide YY. And I'm referring to some notes so I make sure that I'm speaking correctly when I say that about those two hormones. So the second science-backed reason to eat more protein, I can't say that word, I guess, is it increases muscle mass and strength. Protein is a building block of your muscles, and I always say that when I talk to women that I'm working with. Those are the building blocks. So you want to increase your protein so that you can increase the lean muscle production that you are doing when you are eating well, like eating enough protein and things, and also exercising. It maintains muscle mass, and it promotes muscle growth when you do that strength training. So there are a ton of studies that show eating plenty of protein can do that, and it's super important. So if you're physically active, lifting weights, or maybe you're trying to gain muscle, you need to make sure that you're getting enough protein. And I can't stress that enough, especially with women, because a lot of us feel like we need to be eaten like birds, and that's so not a good thing, right? We do not want to be eating like birds. We want to be eating enough protein so that we can increase muscle mass and reduce fat. So keeping that protein intake up will help prevent muscle mass loss during weight loss. So there's that fine line where you're losing weight, which is you're losing fat and building muscle, but you have to eat enough protein. So, and the reason for that is muscle is made up of primarily protein. So you gain muscle mass, lose body fat, and you also gain strength at the same time. So that's super important. Women will not get bulky from eating protein and lifting weights unless you take steroids, and that's not what we do. We eat well, whole foods, and we exercise, keep moving, and trying to get our minds to think that way. Get our minds thinking, I have to eat in order to lose body fat. Build nice, fresh, lean muscle, lose body fat, need to eat protein, fats, and carbs, focusing mainly on the protein today. So protein's also good for your bones. Just like strength training, exercising is good for those bones, so is eating enough protein. It is not bad for your bones at all. So I don't know, there's a little bit of a myth out there. I don't believe that you need to have mainly animal protein for your bones, okay? So, and what that does is it increases the calcium to neutralize the acid. Let me say that again. Protein increases the acid load in the body, leading to calcium leaching from your bones in order to neutralize the acid. So, protein, including animal protein, has major effects on your bone health. So it does not cause that to leach. That's what the myth is, that protein increases acid, which pulls that away from your bones, calcium from your bones. That is not true. People who eat more protein will have stronger, they will be able to maintain their bone mass much better, and lower risk of having osteopenia, which is the precursor to osteoporosis, and also prevent fractures. So really important, especially for women who are at high risk for osteoporosis after menopause. Of preventing that from happening. So it's a good way to prevent osteoporosis and stop the osteopenia, which is the precursor to that. So also, if you guys have any questions, let me know. And if you're in watching the live, I'd love to hear from you. So just make a comment that you're here and say hi. I would love to see that. Also, another benefit of protein is reduces cravings and a desire for that late night snackiness, right? We get that. Food craving is different from a normal hunger. So it's not just about your body needing the energy and the nutrients for your brain, right? It's about, so craving, let me back up. So cravings are really hard to control. So the best way to overcome them is to prevent them from happening in the first place. And so, first of all, there's several reasons. We're talking about protein. So yes, protein in your diet, which will prevent that from happening, how those hunger pains, but also eating consistently. So not just eating protein once a day, but consistently, breakfast, lunch, dinner, a couple snacks in there as well. It prevents the blood sugar from dropping, and it keeps you, as I mentioned before, protein keeps you um, less hungry, right? It keeps you full longer, which will prevent those cravings from happening. So, increasing that protein intake. So there is a study that showed that for men that showed increasing protein to 25% of calories reduced their cravings by 60%, and the desire to snack at night by half. That's amazing, right? And so for women, it's most likely the same thing, right? That was just a study done in men. So another study found that overweight adolescent girls, if they ate a higher protein breakfast, that reduced the cravings for them throughout the day and that late night snacking. So it's really, really important to make sure you're eating throughout the day, not just that one meal, but that you're also eating that protein. Protein is really, really important in your diet. All right, so eating more protein will reduce cravings and desire for late night snacking, which we just determined, right? So even just having a breakfast that has protein in it, not the donuts, not the cereal, but having some protein in it. So ground turkey, ground chicken, really good for breakfast with some jasmine rice and some berries on top. It's an excellent source of protein, even in the morning. All right, the fifth reason that you need to have more protein in your nutrition is it will boost your metabolism and increase your fat burning. And so important. Boosting that metabolism is so important. Did you know that protein has a much higher thermic effect than fats or carbs, like 20 to 35% compared to 5 to 15%? What that means is it boosts that metabolism and increases the number of calories that you burn. So that's why it's important. So when I hear women say they don't eat breakfast because it makes them feel hungrier throughout the day, that's why. It's important. It boosts that metabolism. It gets your engine going. It gets that fire burning, which is what you want, right? You want to burn the fat, boost your metabolism, build lean muscle, and we can do that with just making sure we have enough protein. And if you're a vegan, vegetarian, there's ways to get that protein in. Some of you do eat fish. And some of you do eat eggs, which are really good sources of protein, right? So you would be eating that maybe more frequently in your diet to help burn the fat. So it's important. So again, you can burn more calories, boost your metabolism. It can be anywhere from 80 to 100 more calories burned each day by adding protein into your diet. So it's super important. So high protein intake will boost your metabolism, which helps you burn more calories throughout the day. Okay, the next thing, number 6 reason, this is a science-based backed reasons for increasing your protein. Plus, I've seen it work. I see it work for myself, and I see it work for my clients too. But it lowers your blood pressure. And you guys know that high blood pressure can cause heart attacks, strokes, cause kidney disease. People with high blood pressure are usually obese. They have overweight issues. Not all, of course, but this does lower your blood pressure. So very important. So in addition to lowering blood pressure, it can reduce your cholesterol and your triglycerides, which can lead to obesity and all of that kind of stuff too. So your body works together. So in a review of 40 controlled trials, increased protein lowered systolic blood pressure, which is that top number, by about 2 millimeters of mercury on average, and it reduces your diastolic, which is the bottom number, by about 1.5 millimeters of mercury. So You want your blood pressure like 170 over or 120 over 70 is perfect. When you get to a higher systolic or even a higher diastolic, that's not good. Your blood is really trying to push through those arteries and not doing real well because it's being forced. Eating enough protein has been shown to decrease that blood pressure, right? So very good to know, which also will help you burn fat, increase lean muscle, so you're going to be losing body fat, dropping weight, which in turn helps with the blood pressure. So it's all works together. Another science-backed reason for increasing your protein or having protein in your diet is it helps maintain weight loss. And we did talk a little bit about that because it does boost metabolism. Protein does. It's a reduction in those calorie intake and cravings, so you're not eating more of the bad foods or the foods that are just laying out, like when you're starving and you just want to eat anything that's not like nailed down to the floor. Having increase in protein will help with that. So that's a really interesting fact. Also, another study showed that overweight women who ate 30% of their calories from protein lost 11 pounds in 12 weeks, even though they weren't intentionally doing that. They weren't intentionally restricting their diet. All they did was eat a little bit more protein in their diet. So benefits for fat loss that are intentional calorie restriction, right? So if you are looking to lose weight, here's a 12-month study in 130 overweight people on a calorie restricted diet. So you're watching your calories, right? The ones that had the most protein lost 53% more body fat than the normal person who's not eating as much protein did. Yeah, interesting, huh? So protein. Very important. So losing weight's just the beginning, but maintaining it is much more of a challenge. And I'm sure some of you can relate to that. It's more of a challenge. So having that increase in protein intake has been shown also to help with that weight loss maintenance. It keeps you from putting that weight back on. So good to know, right? Not only helps you lose weight, but helps you maintain that. So perfect. Number 8, we're getting down there. It does not harm healthy kidneys. So there are a lot of people, maybe not a lot, but I've heard from people that they think eating a lot of protein will hurt your kidneys, and that's not true. If your kidneys are healthy, that is not an issue. High protein intake can harm individuals that do have serious kidney problems, but doesn't have any relevance to people who have healthy kidneys. So keep that, remember that. It does not harm healthy kidneys. So if you don't have any kidney issues, you can eat enough protein or more protein than what you're currently doing. It also helps your body repair itself after injury. That is number 9. That is very true, because protein does form the building blocks of our tissues, right, and our organs. And so when you eat more protein after injury, it can help speed up that recovery. So it's nutrition, more protein will help heal your body as well. And the last, number 10, so we've done 10 science-based backed reasons why having protein in your diet is very important. So number 10 is it helps you stay fit as you age, right? So as you get older and you're not eating well and you're not doing any weight-bearing activity, what happens is you end up with muscle wasting, which is sarcopenia. And then you have problems with bone fractures because your bones aren't doing very well. And your quality of life suffers because you have all this stuff going on. So eating more protein is one of the best ways to reduce age-related muscle wasting, deterioration, and prevent sarcopenia. You don't want that, because that's when you see people who look really super frail, right? So staying physically active is crucial. Lifting weights or doing some sort of resistance training along with that protein in your diet will help you stay fit as you get older, and that is what we want. We want to be fit as we get older because we have a lot of years left in us. We have kids, we have grandkids, we have things that we want to do, and this is the best way to do it. So it's the combination, obviously, of the nutrition and the exercise, and just making sure our minds are right on that. There's a lot of things out there that are fallacies, and I'm here to just kind of help steer you in the right direction. So plenty of protein can help reduce muscle loss associated with aging. So if you need to lose weight, improve your metabolic health, gain muscle mass, burn body fat, increase your strength, be strong, make sure you're eating enough protein. Very important, along with that strength training, all of that. So hoping that I was able to help you understand the importance of protein in your diet, along with the strength training, resistance training, getting your mindset on some of the fallacies that are out there about protein. Yes, if your kidneys are damaged, you want to watch that, but if you're healthy, your kidneys are healthy, there's no reason why you can't have the protein. So hopefully this was beneficial to all of you, and any questions after you see this or you watch the replay, please let me know in the comment section, and I will definitely get those answers to you. So enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.